This is the transatlantic slave trade middle passage image analysis. This is the investigation for the transatlantic slave trade. What is our mission, our investigation prompt? To what extent did the transatlantic slave trade transform the lives of Africans in the old world and the new world? So there's a lot going on here. To what extent, how much, a lot or a little, did this slave trade system change the lives of Africans in Africa, the old world, and the Americas, the new world? That's what we're trying to figure out. Okay? So now I go back here. Everything we see, we're trying to figure out how their lives changed. We look at image number 1 and we see people, it seems to be in a natural environment, and they seem to be captives. They seem to have their hands tied and their necks bound, and there's rope that's tied them all together, and many of them are wearing little to no clothes. And it seems, if you look closely in the center, that there's an individual with a gun, and he seems to be walking them through a forest, through the woods, through the jungle, a natural environment. So that's what it looks like. These look like captives. Okay, let's go to image number 1. Who's the creator or the author? So it says Livingstone, David and Charles. Okay, so David and Charles Livingstone, they're the creators of this source. Okay, they're the ones that found this source or created. So copy it, paste it right here. There it is. The occasion, where are they? It says narrative of an expedition where? To the Zambezi and its tributaries. Zambezi, so this is the African slave trade, so they would be in Africa. So you would type Africa, and then you could copy and paste or type Zambezi and its tributaries. That's the part of Africa. It's a river in part of Africa. Now, audience, who is supposed to look at this? Let's read the rest of the blurb at the bottom. And the discovery of the lakes of Shirwa and Nyasa, 1858 to 1864. So this was in London. It was reprinted in 1866 in New York. So this is for London and New York. Well, what is it? It's an advertisement for the sale of newly arrived Africans in Charleston, Virginia, July 24th, 1769. This is an advertisement. It's a commercial to buy people from Africa as property if you live in Charleston, Virginia. So, who is the audience? People who want to buy Africans in Charleston, Virginia, as property. This is the biggest difference of slavery around the world, this type of slavery. It's called chattel slavery. There we go. That's better, right? It's called chattel slavery, where human beings become property. Asians and Southeast Asians and Middle Easterners and Europeans for thousands of years had slaves. The slaves were more like indentured servants or prisoners of war. In any case, those slaves could win their freedom or move up in the social classes. In this new system, in the new world, the Americas, North, Central, and South America, slaves cannot do that. As soon as they're purchased in the new world, they become property and cease to become human beings. It's called chattel slavery. Okay? Now, what should the audience think or feel after looking at that? the people in Charleston, South Carolina in 1769, they want to buy slaves to work on their plantation farms. Now you see the people should feel positive. Those slave owners in South Carolina, let's say slave owners, they should feel positive about new laborers and new workers for sale. And that's the disturbing point of view, right? We always do a point of view. That's the disturbing point of view. What should the audience feel? Well, the audience wants to buy these humans as property in South Carolina, slave owners, to make these people work on their slave plantations, to either pick cotton or tobacco. And they should feel positive about new workers are coming. I could buy them. That is the disturbing point of view. So why do you think this source was created? Well, it's an advertisement. An advertisement created to improve the sale of Africans in the Americas. In order to increase business. Plain and simple, this is an advertisement for property, not people. You buy the property, they work for free for the rest of their lives, and the slave owner would reap the financial benefits and make all the money. This is the disturbing part, this point of view. What is the message in this image? Well, from the perspective of the slave owner, this is a positive image because it represents more business and more money for the slave owner. From the historian's perspective, this is a very negative image of the dehumanization of Africans, right? So let's say this. The advertisement represents the dehumanization. Now we're using higher level vocabulary. To dehuman, right? Less than human, dehumanize. You're treating these people less than human beings. To dehumanize them, you're treating them like property, like a new car, right? That's to dehumanize. The advertisement represents the dehumanization of Africans. This is heavy stuff. All right. Now remember, the prompt says, to what extent did the transatlantic slave trade transform the lives of Africans? So we, at the bottom, remember, how did Africans' lives change? You type that at the bottom of every one. Africans were dehumanized and sold as property. That's what this shows right here. I highlight it, and I'm going to use that in my claim. We've done this 10 times.